So good afternoon, everybody. It's the Butterfly Crafter. So some videos that I'm about to post are of the Erie Canal, and there was a lot going on down there today. So you're going to see some videos and some pictures of what is going on down there today. And I'm sorry for all the noise in the background, because that was the waterfalls. They tried to shut it off as best as they could so you could hear everything going on. I tried to get a best spot so that you could be able to hear and see all the excitement that was going on down there today. So there will be possibly two or three videos and some pictures at the end of all these videos. So I hope you all have a good day, and I hope you enjoy watching these videos. I will talk to you all later. Bye. Okay guys, so I'm down by the canal. We got a lot going on today. Didn't realize it.
I would like to simply expand on a couple of items of interest in how this project...
Got the news media down here too.
Some of the people who have been involved in making the Lock Tenders Tribute such a vital component of enabling visitors to appreciate the significance of the Erie Canal Flag 5 locks. It was a snowy evening in January 2015 when Jeff Degnan, a fellow board member, and I attended an evening meeting of the nearby Sanborn Historical Society to hear a presentation about the impressive cast-bronze sculptures of Tuscarora heroes in Freedom Crossing, located in Lewiston, and the artist responsible for creating these masterpieces, Susan Geisler. Our interest in these sculptures was due to one of the major recommendations formulated by Eisterhold Associates, consulting firm from Kansas City, which had seized upon a photo provided by our colleagues at the Niagara County Historical Society that dated back to 1897. The photo is the now famous image of a group of Lockwood lock tenders, and they had posed on this very stairway to photographer F.B. Plank. In their 2012 report, the Erie Canal Flight 5 Interpretive Plan, Eisterhold recommended that this photo serve as the thematic centerpiece for a series of exhibits, some to be located at the street level, some to be located right here in the Lockwood Locks area itself. The consultant's report suggested that perhaps a display of 2, 3, or 4 likenesses of these 12 lock tenders and the little girl would enable Lockwood to recreate the scene by adding individual, what they call bronze-colored sculptures. I think they've got much better than that. When we shared this concept and the lock tender photo with Susan Geisler, things really started to click. Credit goes to our Locks District Interpretation Committee, Becky Burns, Melissa Dunlap, Jeff Beckman, Paul Lamont, Norm Allen, and John McKee for championing the lock tender sculptures, later named the Lock Tenders Tribute Monument. However, it was Jeff Degnan, Jeff, thank you so much, who worked tirelessly to uncover the names of the Lockport lock tenders of 1897. But despite Jeff's best efforts to identify the names of all 12 of the lock tenders in the photo, there were still 4 lock tenders in the photo whose identities we still were not quite sure of. And the pending installation of our first 3 sculptures today brought a sense of urgency to this effort. Enter a new cohort of energized, knowledgeable, and dedicated volunteers with strong backgrounds in genealogical research. I call them Lockport's own hidden figures. 5 women, Deanna Douglas Knapp, Marie Vindeman, Cindy Cotton, Shelley Richards, and Delynn Walker. In the midst of the pandemic in March and April, this team of super smooths made contact with family descendants of our 1897 lock tenders. The excitement that our research team embraced for this project was shared with descendants of the Lockport lock tenders from coast to coast. During this time, artist Susan Geisler was traveling to the foundry located in Loveland, Colorado, that molded her clay figures into the tremendous cast-bronze sculptures you see before you today. The welding together of the pieces and the application of the patina coloration concluded a labor of love for the likenesses of the 1897 lock tenders. On July 17th, we successfully installed the first 3 sculptures, phase 1 of the Lock Tenders Tribute Monument on the Lockport Locks stairway. So today we can say Welcome home, Michael Hennessy. Welcome home, Martin Newman. Welcome home, Tom O'Hara. Thank you. Michael Hennessy, 1870 to 1945, lived at 399 Ontario Street. He and his wife Charlotte had 8 children: Patrick, Michael, Theodore, Otto, Florence, Charlotte, Joseph, and William. Michael, who had also had 10 siblings, worked as a lock tender for 16 years. Others in his family also worked on the Erie Canal. Martin Noonan, 1856 to 1935, lived at 337 North Adams Street. His brother, Michael Noonan, became a priest and was pastor of St. Edward's Church right here in Lockport. Although he did not marry, Martin had 4 siblings, 2 of whom married and had families. And Edward Tom O'Hara, 1898 to 1938, resided at 403 West Avenue. Tom O'Hara and his wife Camille, with 3 children, Camille, Mary Ann, and Tom. The individuals who have given us together here today were not one of the statesmen, authors, proponents of human rights for the businesses, some of the men who worked as laborers on the Erie Canal, but enjoyed the canal only for 2 years.
That's the old boat right there. See that boat? It's many, many years ago.
However, we have fortunately made a number of times from the family of lock tender Edward Michael Carter. Michael. From the family of lock tender Tom O'Hara. Michael O'Malley, his wife Sandy. Ron O'Malley, Pam Turk, and her husband Alan, and their daughter August O'Hara Potler, and their grandchildren Quinn Potler, Tracy Potler, Ruby Potler. Also from the O'Hara family, Mary Deering and her husband Ron, and also Joseph Kinney. From the family of Lockport lock tender Michael Oates, City of Lockport Alderman Joe Oates, Diane Oates, Molly Kirchgraber, and City of Lockport City Clerk Paul Oates and his wife Cheryl. From the family of lock tender Franklin Valley, Sue Lurch, Sue. And from the family of lock tender Edmund Goodlander, Danielle Priest, and her husband Alan. Let's give them all a round of applause. We're glad to be able to celebrate with you all today. Who better to relate to you her experiences with our 19th century Lockport lock tenders than our artist Susan Geisler. Susan Geisler is a very accomplished artist and sculptor. She is one of the premier designers of human figures in the U.S., having created over 30 works of art from busts to public monumental sculptures in 13 states, from California to Florida. Highly regarded in our own Western New York, which, as I said, is the location of the heralded Freedom Crossing and Tuscarora Heroes, Susan's depiction of the Lockport lock tenders and the Lockport locks will rank as her largest public work of art and the largest cast bronze artwork in Western New York. Let's have a round of applause. And please join me in welcoming to the podium artist Susan Geisler. Susan?
Hello. You all hear me all right? Well, everybody has said just about everything, but I was going to tell you some of it will be a repeat. I'm giving this speech as from an artist's perspective. About almost six years ago, David Kinnan and definitely been pain to see Peter, my husband, and I speak. We spoke on the broadcasting process, and after we were finished, these two men were standing in front of me at the table while I was packing things up, and I said, well, we're here to talk to you. And I said, wait a minute. Peter! Come here! And with that, they mentioned to me that they would like me to sculpt something that they had in mind for Lockport. And would I be interested? And I certainly was. This phase one and phase two is in the works at my studio, which you're all welcome to come to the studio just to see how interesting it is to see the whole process come together. But yeah, I'm not good at this. This is a very emotional thing for me personally, to come to know these three men right now, Michael, Tommy, and Marty, I call him. And Marty and I, we like each other. I know he likes me because he was staring at me a lot. And it was really fun working on these pieces. It was like, and it is like, putting a puzzle together. The photographer didn't just take pictures. So if you're wondering why everybody's expression is so miserable, it's because they had to sit there and wait for the punch to pose them the way he wanted. It was a very balanced photograph. And I'm sure that they were getting very frustrated. The sun was rising in the east, so their eyes were, the sun was glaring in their eyes and they were squinting. And they're probably miserable sitting on this hard stone waiting for this man to say, hey, you squash down over there, you go over there, cross this way, and dictating all the things that they were supposed to do to make this perfect photograph. So the challenge to make a tall man sitting next to a very short man is amazing. It's a real challenge to mathematically put these pieces together because they're not all the same. And when the next phase two comes, you'll see the remarkable difference in a lot of these men. It's really fun. It's a lot of work too, but it's fun. So I am honored and grateful for David and Jeffrey to approach me in the first place, asked me. It's such an honor to be the artist to execute this monument, which is in here, one of the largest monuments in the western New York upper Niagara region. And but I hope I'm right on that. But thank you so much. Thank you for all the people that everybody else mentioned. Thank you. Thank you for coming here today. You should be proud. I know you are proud of Lockport. This is a very, very special historical piece, and I'm honored. Thank you.
Susan Geisel, ladies and gentlemen, let's give her one more round of applause.
Yay! She's in the red coat right there. She's the one
So now to cap off our ceremonies, we've invited a very distinguished guest to share his perspectives regarding the Erie Canal Flight of Five and the Lock Timbers tribute in the context of Western New York and its other outstanding heritage assets. We've invited Douglas DeCroy, Executive Director of the West New York Heritage Magazine, to share his perspectives about this subject. Doug DeCroy has served as Executive Director of West New York Heritage, the not-for-profit publisher of West New York Magazine, since 2009. He holds degrees in history from the University of Illinois, and Miami University of Ohio, and achieved his doctoral candidacy status at Bowling Green State University. A native of Chicago, we have been fortunate to have Doug as a West New York resident since the early 1990s. Please join me in welcoming Doug Pickler. Doug?
I promised my wife I wouldn't be standing on a soapbox today. Now I'm stuck. Everyone hear me all right? Well, good morning. This is an auspicious group to follow. And I would like to extend my appreciation to Dave Union and everyone at the Lockport Lock Heritage District for the honor of being part of this ceremony here this morning. Also like to extend my thanks to Mayor Roman, Legislative Andres, Assemblyman Norris, the Bornello, Director Stanton, and of course, Lieutenant Governor Holker for their attendance here today, demonstrating their support and enthusiasm for our region's rich and diverse heritage. Last but not least, I would like to make a my thanks and appreciation and congratulations to Susan Geisler, my friend. Words escape me. I've seen your stuff up close. I've been to her studio. Absolutely breathtaking, and I can't wait for it to be finished. We are so fortunate to have such a talent in our region. It's just unbelievable. And since we've got such a wonderful day, and since I have the duty and honor of going last on the docket, I will try to make my remarks somewhat brief, at least for me, so that we can get on and enjoy this gorgeous Western New York fall day. And I can think of no place better to begin my remarks than by traveling back to June of 1825. The flight of 5 blocks here in the newly established village of Lockport were almost completed when they were visited by no less a figure than Marquis de Lafayette, who was traveling around the nation on the occasion of its 50th anniversary. Referencing both the locks and Niagara Falls, the Marquis remarked that, quote, Lockport and Niagara County contain the greatest natural and artificial wonders, second only to the wonders of freedom and equal rights. Over the ensuing 195 years, of course, society has come a long way in its ability to create artificial wonders. So perhaps something that's relatively simple in a series of interconnected blocks might be all that impressive for a modern mind. But at the time, it certainly was. In fact, nothing like this had ever been done before, and it was done right here. Now, before anyone panics, I'm not going to launch into an exhaustive history of the locks or the canal or anything like that. You can read all about that, by the way, in the summer 2009 issue of Western New York Heritage. You guys noticed a lot of you are carrying around, so if you haven't got one, go see the Heritage table upstairs. The Lockport Lock Heritage table has got some. There's also a little subscription flyer in there, so take a look at that too. But what I'd like to do is take a look at the bigger picture and focus on what monuments and dedications I did here this morning. Back when I was younger, regularly presenting educational programs in schools, I used to ask kids how they felt about history. Did they like history? Is it their favorite subject? Their least favorite subject? And usually the show of hands that I got was directly correlated to how close they were sitting to their teachers. So when I put one of the kids on the spot and asked them that didn't have their hands on what they didn't like about history, I got the usual things in response. Yeah, it's boring, it's all names and dates, stuff like that. Why do I need to use this stuff? But then I asked the same group if they like to go to the mall or down to the riverside or to the frozen custard stand or wherever, and people watch. Every hand, almost inevitably, shot up. I said, well, then you should love history. Because as the lieutenant governor stole my pitch, history is about people. And that's why this monument is so incredibly appropriate, I think. It's not only about the people, it's actually composed of people. From a photograph, bringing it to life. It's a truly evocative statement. Now, much has been done over the years to celebrate the people who conceived of and built the canal. And I think one time or another we've all sung about good old Sal at Grave Street. Here this morning, as a matter of fact. But today we're focused on those who brought the canal, and particularly these incredible logs, to life, and kept the barges and the people moving once construction was finished. Collectively, they both document and celebrate important portions of the human experience. And while we can marvel at Lafayette's articles of wonder, it's the people behind it that truly make up our community. And what heritage we have in those communities. Yeah, as Dave pointed out, we can go back into a little bit of biographical information, because I do think it's important for what I'm going to say next. As David pointed out, I'm not from Western New York. I grew up outside Chicago.
Okay guys, I'm walking down this really steep hill to get down here to show you some things. Sorry for the bouncing.
I got eyes.
Yes, there was a demonstration. They were showing the statues that I was trying to tell you about earlier that they had built. And that lady that was in the red coat, she's the one that's making those. So, that's awesome. There's a lot of history down here. I wish you guys could come see some of this stuff. Can't go in the museum because it's closed. Yeah, unfortunately, a few weeks ago, a kid come down this hill. Kind of missed, and he went into the canal. But he was okay. He got out. Look at this. See what I'm saying? This hill is steep. And right here is the underground caves. There's a boat. You can go underground and ride the boat and go through in the caves and stuff. It's just, I have never been on there since I've lived here, but other people have, but not me yet. People like to fish down here. What the heck is that over there spewing out? Oh my goodness. Can't see where the trees are, but there's water just spewing out over there. Yep, we're at level 1. When the boats come from that direction, they wait for the gates to open. Those gates are over there. And then they'll come up to this level. And I'm walking back up the steep hill. What an idiot. That's pretty cool, because I've never seen a skateboard like that. How do I get down here? I wonder if we can go in the museum. I'd like to show you some stuff. No, it's closed. can walk down here. Ooh, watch the steps. Steps are messed up. Very steep. Holy cow. These steps are messed up. Wow, steep. There's the museum. Yeah, it's closed. Can't go inside. There's an old boat. By the way, if you see that bridge right there, they call that the upside down bridge. And a train goes across it. Don't ask me why, I still have no clue. I've lived here for many years. We used to walk across it, but can't do that no more. See how these bikes just fly down this hill? That's what happens. Used to be all stone, but not anymore. Yep, this is the first level right here. The boats will come in. Yeah, too bad the museum is open. Back up these steep hills. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to hang on to this railing. Oh, they closed the gates. We'll let the water back in soon. Oh, goodness. Ew, look at these spider webs. Oh my goodness. Wow, look at these steps. Goodness. Oh, I can't get up there. I'm going to have to make this into 2 parts because it's getting really long. I'll be right back.